Buenos días y bienvenidos a la cuarta semana, semana 4. Vamos a cubrir capítulo 4. So I want to welcome you to week 4, where we're going to cover chapter 4. So as always, you're watching this video, which will be replaced with the one I'm currently recording. And this week you're going to be able to talk about and describe your daily routines and activities. Things like waking up, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, etc. Okay? You're also going to be able to distinguish when someone is talking about things that are close by as opposed to far away. The difference like this and that and these and those. Okay? You're going to talk and write about your daily routines. Okay? We'll actually have our one writing assignment this week. You'll become familiar with and learn how to talk about and ask for vital signs. You'll be able to refer to direct objects by their pronouns in order to avoid repetition. You're going to be able to describe actions that are in progress, okay, that are going on right now. And you'll be able to state how long certain things have been going on for, using the structure hace que. You'll also be able to use certain idiomatic expressions to make your language sound more natural. Okay. So as always, you're reviewing this video and then reading the textbook and completing the corresponding My Spanish Lab activities. There are actually 3 quizzes this week. Okay, it's kind of a heavy week. Quiz 1 is going to be in Blackboard. Okay. And then there's a second quiz in Blackboard. Okay. The third quiz will be in My Spanish Lab. Okay. There will also be a short, very short, like 10 statements, written exercise about your daily routine. You'll have your 2 dialogues. And then last week you turned in your presentations. You will view 2 of your classmates' presentations and then answer certain questions that I have posted about those. And like always, do not forget to log 2 hours of language and cultural contact. So broken down more specifically, you have 2 links. You have your Semana 4 plan here as well as right here. Okay. This week we're going to be covering pages 100 through 129. Okay. The first quiz, we're going to continue with that patient intake form, and you're going to do part 2. Okay? And just like part 1, the quiz will be situated so that you'll see the video with the terms, and then you'll have, I apologize, not 5 minutes, but 15 minutes to complete the quiz. Okay. You'll take your grammar quizzes on My Spanish Lab, log your hours. The second vocabulary quiz in Blackboard, it will be over vital signs. And again, we've divided this into 2 parts. So vital signs part 1. Okay. You'll study those terms, and then again, you will have 15 minutes to complete the quiz. Okay. You'll have new dialogue partners, and you'll work on dialogues 5 and 6. 5 will be due on Wednesday, June 7th, and 6 will be due Sunday, June 11th. There's a práctica escrita, and then you will make comments on your classmates' language and cultural presentations. Okay, so the first quiz, if I click on that link, here again, I have the patient intake form, part 2. And then I have the quiz. And I will go in and make sure that it's 15 minutes and not 5 minutes. Okay. And if you need a review on how to do accent marks, you have that there. Okay. The next quiz will be the vital signs. So if I click on that link, it brings me up to Antes de tomar los signos vitales, so this is before you take the vital signs. This is going to be part 1. Okay. So you will study those words, and then again you will have a 15-minute quiz in which to take to finish that. And again, if you need a reminder about accent marks. Okay. The next thing are the two diálogos. So if I click on Diálogo 5, you have your general instructions again. And Diálogo 5, diálogo entre un cirujano y un paciente. Y el paciente tiene 45 años, un inmigrante recién llegado de Ecuador, que va a tener una cirugía ambulatoria. See, even teachers can get tripped up. Ambulatoria en la mañana. Okay, so one person is going to be the surgeon, and the other person will be a 45-year-old newly arrived immigrant from Ecuador who's going to have outpatient surgery in the morning. So as always, you will run through these twice. Okay, you need to remember to switch roles when you do that twice. So in your dialogue, again, you'll have the appropriate greetings and introductions. Then you're going to ask your patient what his or her name is and how he or she spells their first and last name. You want to know how they're feeling, if he or she has any questions about the surgery, and I recommend you ask at least a couple questions. How you want to find out how he or she's going to return home after the surgery. You want to find out who's going to prepare the meal, who's going to buy the medicine, and what this person is going to do upon arriving home. Okay, tell your patient you will see him or going to see him in the morning. Thank him or her, an appropriate closing and farewell. Okay, you want to add as much information as possible. Okay, so that is Diálogo 5. The next was Diálogo 6. Again, we have the general information. This diálogo entre un enfermero or una enfermera y un paciente or una paciente con la gripe. So one person will play the nurse who's working with a patient who has the flu. Okay, so here you're going to have appropriate greetings and introductions. You're going to ask the patient for his or her name and how they spell their first and last name. You want to find out how he or she is feeling, what his or her date of birth is, and you may want to flip-flop those two questions. Okay, and then you want to find out some symptoms, if he or she is hungry, if he or she is thirsty, if he or she is tired, hot, or cold, or sleepy. Okay, and then the patient is going to respond. Now, tell the patient that he or she has to drink a lot of water, has to call if he or she has a problem breathing, and that he or she has to be careful. Okay, you want to thank him or her, and then your appropriate closings and farewell. Be sure to include vocabulary expressions you've been learning. This is a chance to practice what you are learning and get feedback. Make sure that you comment appropriately when speaking to one another. For example, if a patient says, "Me siento muy mal," don't just move on to the new question or next question without making some sort of comment such as, "Lo siento," or "Va a sentirse mejor muy pronto," etc. Okay? And keep in mind, as always, none of these dialogues are are memorized or read. Okay? So, if I go to my next activity, I'll have the práctica escrita, verbos reflexivos, and you have the instructions here. But when you click on the link, you also have the activity. Okay? It's a 15-point assignment. Okay? So, you're going to review and study the steps below prior to completing this written assignment. When you feel comfortable with the vocabulary and structures, then I would work on this assignment. Okay, so you're going to look at pages 100 through 107. And don't forget to use accent marks. Spelling and accent counts. Instructions, what is your daily routine using all the verbs provided? Okay, I am not going to dock you off if you don't use all, but you should have at least 10 statements. Okay. You want to write a short paragraph in which you describe what you do every day to get ready for either work or school, and include times when necessary. Okay? Now remember that not all the verbs that are given here will require you to use the reflexive. Okay? And you can also use, to make your narration sound more natural, certain connectors like first, then, later on, afterwards, lastly, and finally. Okay? So, for example, primero yo me despierto a las 5 de la mañana. Luego, and what is it that I do? Okay? Now, you can write your submission right in here, but sometimes it's hard to get those accent marks on. So you may want to do it on a Word document and then attach it. Okay? Okay, hopefully that's clear. When you're all done, you will hit submit. Okay. The next thing is this link in which you're going to watch at least 2 of your classmates' language and cultural contact presentations, and then in the comments section, because it's on the discussion board, you're gonna talk about what you liked about the presentation, what you think could be improved for next time, and what specifically did you learn from it. And these comments are going to be included as part of your student engagement participation responsibility grade. Okay? And the recursos, we have some more conjugation and question forming websites. I have some PowerPoints on reflexives, demonstratives, direct object pronouns, present progressive, using hace que to describe how long something has been going on. Here's some cultural information, if you would like to look at that. So these are extra resources. Okay. And that brings us to the end of Semana 4. Les deseo buena suerte.